Welcome back, aliens. My name is Navin Reddy, and let's continue with this series on blockchain. In the previous video, we have installed Hyperledger Fabric on our machine. And then when you download the Fabric samples, you can see we got a lot of projects, right? And if you explore them, and if you can see the project names there, so if you go into samples, you can see we have so many projects here. Now, one of the interesting project or the folder here is the first network. And this first network has a script called byfn.sh. Now it basically stands for build your first network. See, Fabric is actually a complex project, so it will take a lot of time for us to understand it completely, and then we have to go step by step. In fact, we have not even talked about the theory concepts behind it. Example, if you talk about this build first network, it will create a channel for you. It will have multiple organizations, and each organization will have multiple peers, and they will be interacting with some chain code. And we have not talked about any of those things yet. And we have to talk about it, but before that, we have to understand how to build a network, because see, it is predefined, right? So we are not doing any coding in this session, but we will understand when you build a network, what are the components it will create, so that when you understand the theory concept, you can actually link, okay, this is what it was doing when we said generate, it is what it was doing when we said up, right? So let's run this script and let's understand what it creates and what you can see on the console. For beginners, it might be overwhelming because you can see a lot of text on the screen, but that's fine. We're not here to understand everything in this video, because in the future videos, we'll talk about each and every concept. So let's build our first network. So let's go back to command prompt, and here we have to navigate to the folder, right? We have to go to that folder. So first of all, I will just go to the folder which is Fabric, sample, and inside this we have to use first network. And if you say LL here, you can see it will list all the components for you. And here you can see we have byfn, which is a shell script. We'll be running that. And if you just want to see the script, you can simply say cat byfn.sh. And you can see this is the entire script you can see. And if you just want to go through what it says is, if I go back up. So this script will orchestrate a sample end-to-end execution of the Hyperledger Fabric network. So you can see end-to-end process, how it will create those peers. It will create a solo ordering service. Now basically ordering service is a service which will order for the package. In fact, we'll talk about it. But we have certain options there. We can go for solo, we can go for Kafka. By default, it will go for solo, so let's stick to that. And then it will also use CryptoGen to generate certificates for every identity in the network. It can be your peers, it can be the channel. So you can see we have some more options to do that. In fact, we'll be using this command, which is byfn.sh generate, which will generate the entities for you, all the entities, the channel, the nodes. And then you can also start the network with the help of up, and you can shut down with the help of down. Straightforward commands, right? You can see we have those commands here. We'll be using this commands here. And then it will create those entities for you. This is the entire script for that. Anything interesting which is coming here? As I mentioned, you can also switch from solo to Kafka. And then you have to pass some commands there, some attributes. Okay, so that's your script. Now let's run this script. So we have to, if you want to run this script, you have to say /byfn.sh. Now this is a script, and you have to pass at least one. So I either have to say generate, which will generate the network. So let's generate the network. So we'll say generate. And when you say enter, it says generating certificates and Genesis block for the channel, my channel. So that's the thing. So whenever you work with the Hyperledger Fabric, you have to work in a channel, and each channel will have peers. Each channel will have chain code, and in fact, each peer will have a chain code. Now, in general, if you want to understand what channel means, is let's say if you have 5 nodes, right, and then if all the nodes want to communicate, of course, they can be a part of one channel. So every transaction will be stored on a ledger, and all these 5 nodes will share the same ledger. But what if there's a secret communication which is happening between node A and B? In this case, they can have a separate channel, so that their ledger, which is specific to that channel, will not be shared with other nodes. And that's how you can maintain confidentiality, right? So it creates a channel, and the channel name by default here is my channel. So let's do that. In fact, it also creates Genesis block. That's very important. Let's say continue, and it will take some time. And yeah, so you can see we got our entities ready with us, right? We got channel, we got peers, And by default, you can see the consensus type is solo. So of course you can change it to Kafka and it will surely work. Now by default, it will create two organizations for you. As I mentioned, let's say we have node A and node B want to communicate. They can have, so those are organizations and they can create a channel for them. So you can see we got two organization channel. We got two organization and each organization has two peers. Need to check where those two peers are. So you can see we got two organizations and each organization will have two peer. So basically we got ORG1, ORG2. So the CCP is basically common configuration profile, if I'm not wrong, common connection profiles. So you can see it says generating Genesis block and writing Genesis block. It will create your first block basically, and then whatever you do transaction on that, it will just add a new block there. And that's it. That's your so that's how you generate the network. Now once you got your network generated, it's time to up your network, right? So we'll say .byfn.sh and here we'll say up, and that's how you start your network. So when you say yes, I want to start this network, it will take some time and it will up the network for you. And you can see it says start building your first network. So you can see we got peer 0 for organization 1, peer 1 for organization 1, and then peer 0 for, so basically each organization has two peers and they will be communicating. Of course, you can change the configuration. You can have one more organization and you can have more peers. So it provides you all these configuration settings. And by default, this will be using Golang. So you can also convert that into Java if you want, your choice. So you can see everywhere it says Golang. It is generating with the help of Go language. But what if you want to switch from Go to Java? So in that case, you have to pass the extra arguments, which is -l Java. By that, you're mentioning, hey, I want to up this network, but with the help of Java. Otherwise, you can also use node. So you can say -l node. Okay, so you can see we have built our first network, and here we got peers, and it says all good, byfn executed completed. If you want to do that in Java, you can simply say -l, and you can say Java. It will do that in Java and node as well. So that's how you up your network, and you can do some transaction if you want. But again, we'll not be doing transaction in this video because that is a complex example. We'll do that in the next video. And here you can see we got all the nodes. We have some terms like anchor peers. Just remember these terms as of now. We got anchor peers, we got endorser peers, we got orderer peers, we got a channel, we got organizations. We'll talk about those things in a theory video. Just wanted to show how things looks like here. Now, yeah, so we can build our network, we can up the network, but now what if you want to shut down the network? Because see, if you do that, if you say up and if you say, hey, I want to run this with Java, now this will not work because at one time you can only up the network using one language or only once, not even 2 times Go, 2 times Java. So if you want to up the network again, you have to down it first. You have to shut down the network. So you have to say down, and it will shut down the network for you. Okay, that's done. And now we can, if you want to up the network again, you can do that with the help of Java language. Okay, so when I say Java, it is generating the network. It is starting the network, but with the help of Java language. So of course, you can run Java code here now. Of course, it will take some time to start this network, and at the end, you have to make sure that you also shut down it properly, so that you can again start it later. So that's how you build your first network, and that's how you can use the first network folder. So you can see we have some more options here. In fact, we will be using this configuration for the upcoming videos as well. And if you just see here, this is the main thing which has your configuration files. So you can see this is your CA, which has this credentials and anything else. So in the next video, we'll talk about this webcast. So we'll actually see the coding behind it. So if you want to see the Java code, wait for the next video. And is it done? It's still working. So that's it from this video. See you in the next video, everyone. Bye.